Hi guys, good morning. This is Cynthia Kering here. If you're new here, please subscribe. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you. You're welcome to the family. So today guys, I'm so happy and humbled to be here at Sarova Hotel, and I am, as I have shown you in my previous video about how I am here for these few days, and it has been the best days of my life, let me say that way, because it was a World Community Development Conference and I was able to participate in it. First and foremost, I would like to welcome you to my world, and my world is generally on matters community, and my world is just impacting lives in different ways and learning how much I can be of help to community, how much my purpose fits me in community development. So today I would like to inform you guys that I study gender development studies, and development of every community involves individuals. And when you talk about community, it's a number of individuals, people living together, people with a common interest, people with a common goal. And today I just want to give an highlight of how the conference has been all about. Today is the last day of the conference, and one of the things that I have learned on this conference that we've been having, it was a World Community Development Conference, and we've interacted with different people in all parts of the world, in all the different continents, in all the different countries. And you know what guys, this different community problems are not as different as such in different countries and different communities. So today I would like to talk about one of the best topics that have impacted my life on this conference, and that is how much we can do community development in regard to people with disabilities. So when you talk about social inclusion, it's having an inclusive environment whereby we come up with policies that are gender sensitive, you come up with policies that are responsive to people with disabilities, people with marginalized groups. So there was this conversation we were having in one of the workshops we had across the conference, and the topic was mostly on how much we can involve and bring in people with disability in and understanding the community, how community can develop with inclusiveness of all the different groups in the community, be it women, be it men, be it people with disabilities, be it people, different social groups, be it marginalized groups. And in Kenya as a settlement, I was listening to the different objective descriptions of different groups in the world, and today I would want to give a center stage of Kenya. For example, Kenya's policies are gender blind. That is one. Most of the policies, and if they are gender responsive, they have not been passed in the parliament. Let's give an example of the affirmative action that was on the gender bill. Has it been passed? That was the one of the things that Maraga looked up to for the implementation of that bill, but up to now we don't have parliamentarians who are vouching or who are interested in passing such a bill. When you talk about community development in regard to how much each and every member of the community is a participant and how much that can change the whole setting of a community, then it needs an individual and a community perspective in understanding the problems of the society. So I would like to also give you a highlight of how much the youth, for example, as a minority group in the community, can really bring about development in a community. And we talk about development, guys, it's the positive growth. It's nothing else, it's just the positive growth. We don't talk about development when you're talking about negativity. We don't talk about development when you're talking about certain things that evade the growth of a community, but to talk about the things that add up for that community to grow and develop and increase. So I have not had a much discussion on the economic part of it. The workshops I've attended are actually on empathy, and the theme of our conference was mostly on connectedness, resilience, and empowerment. So today, as the last day, we are talking about empowerment. Yesterday, the second day, we were talking about resilience, and the first day, we were talking about connectedness. So when I was understanding the perspective of connectedness before the conference, I wouldn't have thought it is something to do with empathy. It's something to do about like how can you relate with the community members, how can you bring about development. And one of the things that was really of a good perspective and something that opened up my eyes to see was how much we as change agents in the community, we don't respond to community problems. We always go there and ask for needs. All the projects in Kenya I have been part of do needs assessment as their first baseline study of a given project. So when I look at it right now after the conference and internalizing each and everything that I've learned, I have learned that in a community we do have assets. So going to a community and asking them what they want, everyone has their perspective. When you talk about the people with disability, they have their own perspective of how development should happen. When you talk about women, they have their own perspective, men have their own perspective, and also children have their own perspective. The different groups in society have their own perspective about how development should happen. And when you try to incorporate all these perspectives into one, it's surely a big deal because everyone wants their goal. In life, everyone wants their thing to go through. If it's a parliamentarian, they want to a bill that touches their constituency to be passed, a bill that touches women in their community to be passed. So when you talk about such groups, then when you do an needs assessment, it will just be like group assessment of what really a community needs. But when I came to understand like needs assessment is not necessarily the way to go, and now there's this model called the ABCD model on community development, and how we can incorporate that as in Kenya is a very good objective idea, whereby we come to a community, we ask the community, what are some of the assets you have for us to bring development into the community? And you know what, as a community we do have assets. That is something that project implementers and also project change agents or all wholesomely, everyone who wants to bring development in a community doesn't really consider, because in a community we don't go to a community whereby we don't have something they can give for them to have development. And we are talking about sustainability of a project, for example, and in that regard of community development, we are talking about how much a community can enable sustainability of a project is when they have the ownership. And when we talk about ownership, is literally what have I brought in to this project for it to be sustainable, for me to know that I have to go through this project regardless. And one of the things that opened my mind to understanding how much you can help communities and how much communities can be impacted in this time of the year, or in this time, it's actually going to the community and asking them for their assets. What are the assets that you have? Do you have land for us to drill water? Do you have this and this? Do you have human resource for us to do this project? Do you have this and this? And then upon hearing the assets that the community have, where there are gaps is where it's then there that the change aid is, be it an international organization, be it a government organization, be it a donor organization. That is the gap that you should fill as an individual, as an international organization, as a donor organization. That's the gap that we should fill when we want to impact a community. And that is something that has really blown up my mind in this conference, and I really want to thank the IACD Kenya for giving me an opportunity to be part of this conference. One of the things that I have learned and I would want to put in practice, it's on the ABCD model of community development. So my people, I would like to I would want to do that and inform all my family in this group or in this channel, and everyone who would come and watch my content on the ABCD model of community development, and how much we can impact our communities, how much we can be happy when we have project-based community development projects where we as the community own the project, and that project can equally be sustainable because we ourselves were the drivers. And another thing about that ABCD model of community development, it's actually bottom-up approach, where the community comes up with the problem themselves and find solution to it. So it's up to the community. There's no one who has control about what the community wants. It's them who have the control about the project. It's only the change agents who come in to facilitate, that's the word, to facilitate the process. Otherwise, the community own the project. So without far much ado, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please be my people, where you'll be educated. As I said, in this channel, we inspire, we educate, and every experience I have, I will share with you people. And if it helps one way or another, we need to be change agents in our community. You've gained education to be an impactful asset to your community. So let's do that. Let's meet in our next video. I think I will do a video of where I am staying. It's a good place actually, and Sarova PanAfric is a very nice hotel. If you need to come to Kenya, and if you're in Kenya and you want to treat yourself, this is the right place to come. So bye guys, let's meet in my next video. Bye.